How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTCReaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Over on total for the daily, we do still have our probability to push to the 156, so that is positive, providing our VWAP can become more bullish. Currently, the only caution is VWAP is pulling back while we consolidate. That could give us some bearish momentum if we're not careful, but the probability is higher that we push forward and we do not make a lower high. Just keep in mind that there is still a chance of making a lower high than rejecting. Our momentum does want to round, and VWAP is favoring bearish, so watch lower time frames. They need to hold more in the green if we're going to push up. You can see over on the 1 hour, we were in the red for quite some time. We did not break down very bad, so that is the positive note here. Since we held our ground, there is a probability that we push to the 110. If we can break that 110, that would be a higher high, and then we could continue with higher highs and higher lows to continue a break forward. Our stochastic is pulling back, and VWAP is trying to break bullish. Momentum does want to bounce, so if that VWAP can break through and hold, we will push forward. But if that VWAP rejects, I would watch, because that would be a lower high paired with a lower low that could kick off a bearish trend, and that bearish trend could break us lower if we're not careful. So just remember that VWAP is important. It shows how the volume is reacting with price. If you have low volume and price is moving up, then that can affect things. You can see moves very quickly that will not sustain. So over on Bitcoin, we did see a push forward. We did see our breakout from our bull flag, so we are going to delete this bull flag. We can look at the 1 hour if you want to see if you could get on that retest. Remember, we say watch for the retest and the bounce. So if you would have watched for a retest and a bounce, you would have seen 2 retests and a breakthrough. Then you would have seen some continuation through. That could have been your cue that we may see higher highs with higher lows. We got higher highs and higher lows in this range right here. So you could have made a bet that we would continue forward to where we are now. And if you did, you may want to consider taking profits, because we're almost at that max MPP probability from yesterday. So we will delete this now that this pattern has played out. And there is still a probability of pulling back now. MPP does state we could make a higher low, so that would be positive. A higher low right around that 102. If we make a bounce off that rising channel, could continue to push us up and invalidate that rising channel. Remember, no pattern's 100%, and if we invalidate this rising channel, that could invalidate that push down toward that 87, 86K range. So keep that in mind as well. Again, that's why it's important to DCA in and DCA out. That's why we bought in so heavily when we bought in back in the previous range. I believe it is back here. We bought in this range back here around that 96. So that's why we bought and held, and we didn't really sell very much. So ideally, you're going to buy in different consolidation ranges. You want to continue forward. You want to see those higher highs with higher lows in order to break you up. If you get lower highs with lower lows, then you're going to break down, continue lower, and see bearish momentum. There is still a chance we do snap away from this pattern. Remember, we did see a breakthrough right here, and that did not sustain. So watch if we can break this 104, 105 area. That is a psychological support resistance. We haven't been higher than that, so we do want to break and hold above that. If we can't do so, then we may not see that push to 112K. Remember, that is still a probability, I believe, on the daily here. If we zoom out to the daily, it did move back to 106, but providing we see further green candles, that could get stretched out. We did have 112 the other day, but remember, you don't want to go for a max move, because ideally, or usually, you're not going to get that max move. You're going to get left out if you try and stay for the max move, the max pain, or the max gain. So that's why if you're looking for a drop down, maybe you buy a little higher than you would anticipate. And if you're looking for a push up, you would sell out a little earlier than anticipated. It's better to leave a little on the table than to get nothing at all. So over on graph for the daily, we do have this descending channel that wants to make us rise. That could give us a little bit of bullish momentum with higher highs and higher lows, providing we can sustain a breakout. RSI is flat. VWAP does want to break up. Our money flow is pushing forward, so we do look pretty decent here. Just watch for some bullish continuation. Right now, we are getting a retest of our channel, so this is our pivotal spot. We want to break forward and continue to see that 30-cent area, and then continue higher above that value area high to get that 31.9. Our momentum is dropping, VWAP is favoring bearish, money flow is trying to break up. So if that VWAP can break forward and hold, then money flow will push up and price action will continue and we will see that break up. There's a 51% chance, so it's almost 50-50 if we get it or not. So ideally, that VWAP would break bullish and hold. If that does not break bullish and hold, then we are going to continue lower. So over on Anchor for the daily, very similar to graph, so we won't bore you there. VWAP is pulling back, money flow is pretty flat, momentum is pulling back. Again, watch lower time frames. Over on the 1 hour, that money flow is holding bearish. We are making that retest but bounce, so that is positive. We did technically make our breakout back here, but we could make another break forward on current price action. There is a 59% chance to push into that 4855. Momentum is overall trying to push up as VWAP does want to break bullish. If that VWAP can break bullish and hold, then we will continue higher. So over on XRP for the daily, we did see a little bit of a push up, nothing too exciting, but we are maintaining away from the bottom and breaking away, so that could be positive. We need bullish candles though to invalidate this rising channel. We need stronger higher highs and higher lows that don't connect. Momentum is pretty flat, and VWAP is just as flat. It does look like VWAP does want to reject, so watch that VWAP. If it makes a rejection, momentum will lead money flow lower and price action will pull back. Over on our 1 hour, we do look pretty positive. We did try to break down. We did hold though, so that could say we may invalidate this pattern, as usually on that third touch, that's when you break down. So if we don't make a lower high with a lower low here, we could continue forward and test at 2.5, so that $2.50, and then we could continue forward and invalidate our rising channel. So that could be positive. VWAP does want to break up, momentum is gaining strength, and money flow does want to push forward. Over on Algo for the daily, we do still have that descending triangle. We did test that bottom, but we look pretty flat. That may get invalidated here as well. So seeing bearish patterns get invalidated is a positive sign, because that means our more bullish higher time frame scenarios are more probable and the lower time frames may not try to bring them down. VWAP is trying to push up, momentum does want to push up, money flow is bullish, so we do look pretty positive here, at least on the daily. Over on the 1 hour, we did try to break up and invalidate. We pulled back in and we tried to make another invalidation with the current candle. So we do look positive. Bulls are trying to maintain price and push us forward. So this 40-cent area seems to be a strong support level for us. Stochastic does want to push up, momentum does want to gain strength, VWAP is pushing forward, so if it can break forward, we may see that push to that 45.59, and then we could see continued higher highs with higher lows, give us a bullish continuation, and then push up. Our higher time frame does say we do still have that probability of that golden pocket area. It's a little higher of a chance now, so that is a little positive. It would be providing we continue gaining bullish momentum, so that shift in that probability shows how that market sentiment, we are gaining more bullish traction. If that drops and continues to drop, that shows bears are gaining more control. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, and